Hey, what's going on everyone? We have the second part on our video talking about going from skill to training, or how to practice really, especially if you're in a CrossFit environment. If you haven't watched the first video, go back and check it out. It was last week from the date this gets published. And we talked about going from no or low fatigue to practice movements into capacity under fatigue. So especially in the world of CrossFit, or for most of us, we have a little bit of exercise ADD. We're not good at focusing on things for the long term. So we wanted to design a way to constantly progress so we can see that we're doing better. And the easiest way to do that is to have some linear progression built into how we work on our skills, our strengths, wherever we were weekend, because we just did the open and it really lets you know what you didn't work on or what you need to work on. So this is simple examples of ways we can do it. One is changing how much volume we do when it comes to volume, total reps times sets. The other one changes how the intensity of it, the volume, and the rest gets shorter. The volume stays the same, the rest gets shorter. And these are just examples. You don't need to do it every minute on the minute. We like that here. We do GOAT days where we focus on 2 things every minute on the minute, alternating minutes for 20 minutes. I like it personally because it doesn't let me get too ahead of myself and it gives me a good amount of rest. Now, if you're someone where you're trying to get better at every 90 seconds, you're doing 20 seconds of power snatches, trying to get those snatches a little bit crisper and faster, you have to play around with that work to rest. So for complete rest, we need at least 4 times the amount of time that we're resting compared to working. If we're less than that, we start going into the fatigue area and we have to chill out, slow down a little bit. So here we are, day 1, and these days could be split apart by 2 days. So imagine like a Monday, Thursday, or maybe you're recovered enough that you can go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can build it that way, but you need to make sure to recover in between. So I didn't want to write week 1, week 2, because it really depends on the person and the movement. So let's just pretend you're someone where you only have, let's say, 3 to 4 strict pull-ups. Maybe it's 5, we're not sure, right? Somewhere in that range. And we can play around with the reps, and this is where a coach helps, right? Because one-on-one, we can do day 1 and realize that was way too easy, we gotta bump up the volume already. So every minute on the minute, perform 1 pull-up. That's 10 reps total. That's it. I know it's boring. Check your email in between. Maybe you can work on some core stuff, do some mobility in between sets so that way you stay active and your mind doesn't wander and you don't get bored and give up on it. Day 2, which could be 48 hours of rest in between, 72 hours, you're doing every minute on the minute. Minutes 1 through 3, you're doing 2 reps in a row. Minutes 4 through 10, you're just doing 1. So now you're at 13 reps. It doesn't seem like much, but 3 out of 10, you just had a 30% increase in volume. Usually we recommend 5 to 10% a week, but some of you will be able to handle this, especially if you have some stamina and capacity from CrossFit, or maybe you're just an athlete, okay? I'm not saying CrossFit is the end all be all of everything. Day 3, every minute on the minute for 10 minutes. Minutes 1 through 6, you're doing 2 reps. 7 through 10, you do 1 rep. Now you're at 16 total reps. You're a 60% increase from day 1. This is a pretty dramatic change to do back-to-back days or every other day, so you want to have rest built in there. I just wanted to give you an example of how you can do this. And you can do this with almost any movement you need to practice with. So maybe I'm going to do 3 empty barbell, tall snatches, every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, making sure every rep is perfect, and that's my skill work. And then maybe the next week, they'll add a little bit of weight. Next week, they'll add a little bit of weight. And you just keep it 3 reps every minute on the minute. You're still increasing that overall volume because there's weight being added on the bar. Now, we can also do it with rest, where you're trying to work on that ability to work under fatigue a little bit more. Every minute on the minute times 10, you do 1. Next time, you cut off 5 to 10 seconds of rest. Next time, cut off 5 to 10 seconds of rest, and so on and so on. I find this pretty helpful when it comes to rowing, biking, things like wall balls or burpees, running. So Henshaw has a great workout out there. It's 10 sets. You run for 60 seconds, you rest for 10, repeat. So there's not a lot of rest in this one because the goal is to build capacity. But the point is, every 60 seconds, you're supposed to run the same exact distance. And then you can increase your distance. And then once you've done that, back your distance down, start decreasing the rest down to 8 seconds, 6 seconds. And now you're getting better under fatigue. All right? So if you're on this side, every minute on the minute, don't play around with that rest too much. We want to learn how to build up volume, making it look pretty. Again, it doesn't need to be every minute on the minute. It could be every 2 minutes. You can do different rest to work ratios. But this is a nice way to look at it so you can actually map out that you're increasing volume, so you're increasing what your body can handle, so you can actually get progressive overload. You have a nice, steady and linear progression that you can work on months at a time, set some deloads, and get better instead of just kind of haphazardly playing with something for 5 to 10 minutes, do it for 2 weeks, and wonder why you're not getting better. I hope this helps. If you don't know how this works, find a coach near you. If you need this help with strength work, we have structureyourstrength.com. You can check out in the info below. Hope this helps you guys out. I'd love to hear what you're planning to use it in first. Talk to you soon.